As the world attempts to cut back on plastic usage, one former Game of Thrones star has taken things up a notch in a bid to raise awareness of the issue. Khal Drogo himself, Jason Momoa, has had enough of plastic and has gone to some extraordinary lengths to highlight the problem. Today, we are discussing Momoa shaving his head in an attempt to bring more attention to a serious global problem. Stay with us. Let's get straight into it then. What's happening? As well as playing badass characters, Jason Momoa is known for his beautiful flowing locks. However, the Aquaman star has recently taken the extraordinary step of shaving off part of his famous hair in an effort to tackle plastic usage. As we all know, single-use plastics are one of the biggest scourges on our planet, and the Hawaiian has simply had enough. Taking to Instagram to give fans a look at the moment he decided to shave his signature hair, Momoa said, "Shaving off the hair, doing it for single-use plastics. I'm tired of these plastic bottles. We've got to stop. Plastic forks." All that expletive. Momoa also highlighted how plastics destroy the environment and end up in our land, as well as in the ocean, which is one of the biggest problems facing our oceans today. He continued, "I'm just seeing some things in our ocean that are so sad. So please, anything you do to eliminate single-use plastics in your lives, help me." As a Hawaiian, Momoa is more aware than most as to the utter destruction plastic does to our oceans, as well as the animals that call them home. Calling plastic bottles ridiculous, the Dune actor encouraged people to do better at protecting the environment, which is under serious threat. If we carry on like we are, there is no doubt future generations will be negatively affected. What do you guys make of Momoa's drastic actions? Let us know below. What else did Momoa have to say then? Stay tuned to find out. Well, it's clear from the video that Momoa has no love whatsoever for plastic, but plastic bottles in particular caught most of Jason's wrath. Having urged people to do more to protect our planet, he said, "We need to cut single-use plastics out of our lives and out of our seas. Plastic bottles, plastic bags, packaging, utensils, all of it." As fans of the Hawaii man will know, he often uses his flowing locks in his work, being cast in several parts where he can use his natural hair to full effect. But given the fact he just shaved the sides off, we're not sure how that might affect his roles going forward. It will also be interesting to see what look his character has when the upcoming Fast X and Fast and Furious 11 drop. The ins and outs of the role are currently unknown, but we do know he will be playing the villain. As well as Momoa, Oscar-winning actress Brie Larson is also set to join the cast, alongside Alan Ritchson and Rita Moreno. Some movie buffs have suggested that by this point, the Fast and Furious franchise has been done to death, but with the addition of Jason Momoa to the cast, they could have just saved it. Will you guys be tuning in for the 10th and 11th Fast and Furious movies? What has Momoa had to say about his upcoming role on Fast and Furious then? Let's see. Momoa will appear in both upcoming Fast and Furious movies, the first of which will drop sometime in 2023. The Game of Thrones man will play an as-yet unnamed villain when the 10th movie in the long and storied franchise returns, and Momoa himself has recently been discussing the role. Of course, the part will see him come face-to-face with Vin Diesel's Dominic Toretto and his web of ruthless acquaintances, and Momoa recently sat down to discuss the role with GQ, saying, "It's been hard because people always think I'm just this dude who plays macho characters. But I want to be moved. I want something new. Things are changing, and even the villain roles I'm playing now are eccentric. This should show another side to Momoa's acting talents, so it will be very interesting to see what he does with the role." He went on to say, "I'm a peacock at the highest level, and I'm having the time of my life. I mean, who doesn't love a peacock? Am I right?" If recent reports are to be believed, Momoa's character will be pretty far from anything he's ever played before, as he drives a lavender car and also apparently has pink toenails. Sounds very eccentric indeed. What is your favorite role of Momoa's from his career so far? Give us your thoughts below. Next up, Momoa has revealed he actually made a former colleague audition for his new movie. Momoa and Dave Bautista will star in an upcoming buddy comedy movie set in Hawaii. The pair are fresh off appearing on the Apple TV Plus show show C, which has so far run over 3 seasons. The show counts Jonathan Tropper as one of its executive producers, who has recently explained that there was a lot of laughing on the set as Momoa and Batista got on incredibly well whilst filming. He went on to say, watching them after cut and seeing how they behaved, how they sassed each other and made fun of each other, they had a great time together, like two brothers. And that's where this whole thing was born. Given the fact that they've worked so well together on C, the guys have decided to work together again for the upcoming comedy. However, they weren't just handing out jobs for their friends. They actually made Tropper pitch them with his take on the movie. Momoa said, "The truth of it is that we made his ass audition with other writers. We love Jonathan, but we thought, well, we can't just hand it over to him. But he brought an amazing pitch and he won it. He simply won it off this pitch, and so we were like, yeah, you got it, dude. It wasn't just being a good friend and wanting to do something together. He actually truly wanted it." And Tropper has big plans for the movie, hoping to eventually turn it into a franchise. Will you guys be tuning in? Momoa has gone in on one of his first big movies next. Stay with us. It's widely accepted that Game of Thrones opened a lot of doors for Jason Momoa, and hot off the back of his performance as Khal Drogo on the show, Momoa bagged the role of Conan in Conan the Barbarian. However, he wasn't particularly impressed with the 2011 movie. Looking back on the Marcus Nispel-directed film, Jason admitted that he has been involved in quite a few productions which sucked, but called that one out for being especially bad. He said, "I've been a part of a lot of things that really sucked, and movies where it's out of your hands. Conan the Barbarian was one of them. It's one of the best experiences I had, and it was taken over and turned into a big pile of expletive." Momoa didn't particularly go into detail as to why he thought the movie wasn't very good, but it's hardly surprising given the reception it received from both fans and critics. It was widely panned, and even though it featured plenty of top-class acting talent, from Rose McGowan to Morgan Freeman, you're almost certainly not missing out if you haven't seen it yet. It was actually that bad that it didn't even make back its budget in ticket sales, which is pretty crazy. What do you guys make of Momoa's thoughts on Conan the Barbarian? Give us your thoughts below. And finally, Jason has given his thoughts on the so-called 10-year DC plan. Stick around. Warner Bros. Discovery have recently announced that they will be merging both the HBO Max and Discovery streaming platforms, becoming one giant service. And given the fact that they have already cut quite a few titles so far, Jason Momoa has given his thoughts on what seems to be going on. Speaking last month, the Hawaiian superstar gave fans a little insight on what has been termed the 10-year plan by DC, saying that he completely trusts the company to make the right decision. Some fans have suggested that they want to see as much of their favorite actor as possible, which might not necessarily be the case with DC's plans for the next decade, as David Zaslav continues to slash budgets and remove content. This new role has also led to the cast of Batgirl pleading with the Warner Bros. Discovery CEO to release the show in some form. The show had almost finished post-production when Zaslav shelved it, but it is thought that Momoa's upcoming Aquaman and The Lost Kingdom should be safe from such calls. Whatever happens, it will be interesting to see what goes down at DC over the next decade or so. What direction do you guys see them heading in? Let us know below. As usual, thanks for dropping in today, and remember to tune in again next time when we'll be discussing all sorts of other cool bits and pieces. And why not do us a solid by liking today's video, whilst also sharing it with any Momoa fans you know of. Bye guys!